everybody. I have been enjoying Air Tycoon 5 a lot, and I've been playing it basically the whole morning. So anyways, I would like to show you guys what that has resulted in. First of all, the weird bug with the city location. Take a look at London flying around. I can make it fly all the way up to, where like Bristol is or like where Southampton is. Yeah, I don't know why this is happening, but it's pretty weird. And maybe it's because there's just so many damn lines coming out of it. I don't really know what's going on. But guys, let's take a look at how this company is doing so far. So first of all, let's take a look at the profit, and this is doing fantastically. Um, if we go back a few turns, we'll see that the profits haven't been this good consistently. As you can see, the downticks were not too great, and I think one of the big contributing factors to this was the opening of a new base in Paris, where every single turn we were adding so many flights. Um, that by adding all those new flights, they weren't making very much money at the beginning, as you guys know. When a new flight is created, the load factors are really low, as you can see here. And just by having so many flights that were making little amount of money or low money, especially ones with 747s, which can start out negative, it wasn't too great. And as soon as we hit the uptick to fill those planes up, in January, where it's a great month for travel, our profit is really, really high. And if we take a look at our investment here, we're even spending a decent amount on service investment now. I probably want to keep that about 10% of my expense because that's not a huge amount to spend. Um, but it will, I think it'll hurt in the long run by not having any at all. I have no idea if I'm starting to invest in it too early or should continue to focus on profit. But yeah, take a look at this. I'm already number one by a long shot, and this is just the advantage of being strong early game is you just get a really, really large advantage early on. And this is competition mode, and this is hard. So yeah, that's awesome. Another thing we can see, take a look at, I guess, is we can take a look at the cities I'm investing in. This is once again a really important aspect of the game, as you will very quickly, when you're profiting this much money, completely saturate an airport. And take all the relevant routes. So we're doing a lot of heavy investment in bases we want soon. So we'll see I'm prioritizing New York and Frankfurt. Why New York? Why Frankfurt? Um, well, New York is just because for me, New York, Los Angeles, and Chicago are all almost equal priority for cities in the US, but I don't want to unlock all those cities at the same time. So New York seemed like a natural first city to go with. And if you take a look, already 1,500 slots used, and it's also got not a lot of competition in the long haul market, which is important for me because I am a long haul focused airline. Um, as all airlines should be in this game, because if you focus on short haul, you're going to run out of slots. And um, some people have also noticed I never ever use cargo. So if we take a look at my routes, switch to cargo, none. Um, take a look at my route map, and yeah, you see no cargo routes at all. Um, take a look at my inventory, no cargo planes. Why is this? Well, cargo is not terrible, but it's not good. The only reason you'd use cargo is if you had spare slots and nothing else to do with them, because a slot flying passengers with a stopover route in almost any way. What the hell is going on with London? What? Okay, I don't know if you guys can see how far off the surface of the earth these routes are like. I don't know. This is a really odd visual bug. This is what happens when you don't restart the game for a long time, and this is genuinely kind of funny. And why I kind of still wish the game was 2D. But I think you could actually change the game to 2D. Anyways, regardless of all that, let's take a look at my kind of route creation strategy because I think this is pretty important. And I've been doing a lot better like this than I have compared to when I was playing with Tupolevs and 747s only. So basically, the idea is we still use Tupolevs in order to lease more 747s, as many 747s as we can. We place these on the best routes we have available. However, there comes a point where you run out of 747 routes. Um, but there's still, slots and other stuff left at your airport. So what do you do? So I've just been using basically every city imaginable to create stopover routes. Let's take a look at some of our routes to London, for example. These are flying to cities I've never heard of. Last, I don't even know how to say that, Rapid City, Billings. Like, where are these places? I know where they are and what country they're in general, but I otherwise would have never heard of them. I'm flying to all sorts of cities, La Paz, Salta, just these tiny little cities all over Africa. We're just adding stopover routes here. And the reason being, let's go ahead and take a look at some of these routes. Let's scroll past the ones which are empty, and they're all full. Key West to London, 98% capacity. London to Mogadishu, like this is almost full all the time. It's not quite full, but it's close enough. London to Winnipeg is more than full, and as you can see, these routes are all 100% load factor. And once you get to slightly better ones, Mombasa, Santiago de Cuba, these are some cities I have heard of even before I played Airway Sim. Um, Cities like Sao Luis and Fortaleza, these are also cities. Um, Fortaleza, yeah, these are cities that I have at least heard of. Baku, San Antonio. That these are cities that if you're relatively um, geographic person and you like geography, you've probably heard of some of these cities before, and these routes will always be full. So, um, yeah, these 707s are just extremely useful um, in kind of just occupying a ton of slots in a profitable way. Um, it has been working a lot better than Tupolev 747s because the Tupolev 747s simply take up too many slots. Um, and the real issue with that is not that taking up too many slots is necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it's what you want, but it means you need a new base really soon, which means you have to pour a lot more of your money. Like for 226,000 is like more than a third of my profit already. And if I was not doing the strategy I'm doing, I have to pour even more of it into investing in more cities. Because as soon as you unlock a city, 3 turns later, you use all the slots with so many Tupolevs. Um, and like this, I'm so much more profitable. I can even use good planes as the Tupolevs. I can use DC-8s and 707s basically as Tupolevs, just spamming planes to lease more 747s. And these planes even make a good amount of money on their own. Um, yeah, a ton of these routes are just completely full all the time. I'd say if you 95% of them never even drop capacity on a downtick, um, which kind of shows how profitable they are. Um, Anyhow, that's probably a good showcase of my strategy. Um, oh wow, if we take a look at the airports, we can see how overcrowded they're getting, which is a good sign, I guess. Um, One thing to notice that I've learned is when your airports overcrowd or they kind of turn red, you actually have you have one turn to fix it. The first turn they turn red, nobody is angry. Only the second turn. Um, so yeah, always make sure you fix everything that's red. And the turn it becomes red actually doesn't hurt you, which is something just good to note. Anyways, that's it for today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. And I'll probably come back to you in another 2 to 3 years, or when there's a big progress update. Anyways, thanks for watching.